So if you've got your band, open up the band. Doesn't matter what resistance it is, to be honest, on this first bit. And then I'd like us to see if we can place our band around the bra line, even a little bit higher if you can. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be all neat, so don't worry if it isn't neat. And then have your feet in hip width, or just where you feel really good in a standing position. And then take your band in your hand so that you've got a little bit of pressure from your band to your ribs particularly, so around the back of the ribs and around that bra line. It doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical there. So you've got a little bit of a connection there with the band to your body. Just reminding ourselves of our Pilates breath, relaxing the shoulders, lengthening up through the spine. Noticing now we've got some space for the body to breathe. So when you're sat at your desk or your computer later, or whatever you're doing, just give yourself that reminder to lengthen up to create that space. And so now as we breathe in, I want you to feel the rib cage opening up into your band. So inhaling in, welcome anybody that's just joined us. Notice that spread, that little bit of pressure from the rib cage, from your body to the band, and then exhale, just noticing everything softening down. That's all I'd like us to do to start with. So just notice that, inhaling, noticing the body just gently pressing in towards the band there as a guide rather than a lot of resistance, and then exhaling, everything softening, just in your own time, obviously not going with my option there. So then what I'd like you to notice, if you can see yourself in your camera, or just kind of notice your body in your periphery, your shoulders are completely relaxed. We do often talk about the breath heading into the armpits, don't we? So as if we've got a couple of little balloons in each armpit and we take the breath wide. So this is our thoracic breathing. And it's actually really helpful as well because it gives space and volume for the lungs. Quite good for asthmatics to practice as well. So just giving ourselves that breath. Then we link that to our Pilates pelvic floor or deep abdominal connection. And just a reminder, you don't have to be doing this throughout the class. This is maybe on a few of our moves, and then the rest of our movement, we just let the abdominals and the back and the pelvic floor do the work for us without worrying about it. So this is when we're just focusing, like when we do our 100 later, particularly, we'll focus on this wide breath. Good. So if we then add in our lifting up from underneath, our light pelvic floor connection, and then a light connection, maybe drawing the tummy muscles in, feeling the hip bones coming slightly closer together to the centre of the body, whichever gives you a light connection with your deep abdominals, without gripping, without holding our breath, without any pain or strain anywhere, just that light connection. Keep that light connection wherever it is, pelvic floor or pulling the tummy in or a bit of both, and now take the breath wide. Inhaling and then exhaling. So notice we can keep that light connection as we take the breath a little bit higher. Naturally, as we breathe in without worrying about our thoracic breath or our pelvic floor, then our diaphragm lowers to accommodate the lungs. So we're gonna go, just think of that breath going wide today. We'll do that one more time, just as a reminder. So we come to our exercises later, we know where that breath's going. And then release. You can pop the band to the ground. Good, and then just come to whatever feels good. Inhale the arms up, take a really lovely circle, exhale the arms down. Let's go again. Good, inhaling and exhaling. And maybe we can even practice that wide breath now, just as we do 4 more of these. So just filling the body up, filling the rib cage up, filling the front, the sides, and the back. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Let's do that twice more, just to bring us into this midweek. Now the middle part of our week now. Good, then bring the arms all the way back to our start. Lovely, well done. Separate the feet a little bit more. Let's take that into our arm slaps. So we're going to warm up through the centre, through that middle part of the back that we've just been talking about. Thoracic spine. And we know it's really important to keep that mobilised as well, don't we, for our heart health, our whole upper body functioning, our shoulder health. Good, we'll go one more on the other side. Good, and then come back to your start. Let's go into swing down. So inhale the arms up, and then exhale, bend the knees round through the back, stretch the legs, first hamstring stretch, and then coming all the way back up. So we can go exhale down, and inhaling, coming all the way back up. You can make that all a bit smaller, particularly, you know, if this is the first kind of bit of movement that we've done, and you stayed in bed till 8:30. I know some of you might have done. We'll do one more of those, which is absolutely fine, isn't it? Go stretching the legs and then reaching all the way back, coming back to standing. Bring our arms to shoulder height, toy soldier. Soften the shoulders for me, lengthen up through the spine, maybe a little bit of softness in the knees, double checking we're not throwing those hips forward. Right arm goes up, left arm goes down. Get a little bit of energy into the front and the back of the body. And the option is, yes, the lengthening, but maybe taking both arms just slightly back. Yeah, only in options. If we're tricky through the neck and shoulders, we might just enjoy that lovely length. What I want you to notice in your camera, if possible, is that you've got the space between the ear and the shoulder, particularly noticing the arm that's lifted. So inhaling through the centre, feet to grounded, crown to the sky, torso stays absolutely still. Good, and again, last one. So inhaling through the centre, exhale a gentle press back. Good, lengthening through the arms if possible, unless you know you've got any issues through the neck and shoulders. So we don't want to go around just with a bent arm, do we? We want to actually stretch, get that full range if the body will allow. This is our arm openings, inhaling as we open and exhaling as we close. So again, feet grounded, spine is long, and now I can really use that inhale to widen into those ribs, into the back and the front of the body, and then closing on the exhale. Doing that twice more. So opening on the in, reaching out through the fingertips, closing on the exhale. Again, we'll do that one more time. Open, reach, stretch. Now see if you can pause there for me. Have a breather if you need. Plant the feet down, add in a little bit of tummy strength, and then just pop your chest up. So you're lifting your ribs a little bit away from your hips, almost like a little mini swan. We've got the swan dive later as an option for some of us. Good, and then from here, release and we'll round through the back, just like we did on Monday, interlace the fingers, and then press the palms of the hands away from it into that upper back stretch. Good, take a breath in, reach the arms all the way up to the sky, and a breath out just to stretch up. Now we can let those shoulders come with us. You know, we can get just a little bit of movement maybe into the back body. Doesn't have to be too precise here. Just enjoy that. Good, and then let's release the arms and bring the arms all the way back to our start position. Really well done. Now knees and feet are in hip width for me, and as you sit your bottom back, just a little leg sequence now, just to get the body going before we come onto the mat. So inhaling back, exhaling to stand. Now absolutely fine. Hang on a minute, I didn't come all the way back to standing there, so make sure you come all the way back to standing. So you get the length through the whole of the thigh, and you engage those glute muscles as well. So each time coming back to standing, inhaling as we're sitting back, and exhaling as we're quite purposeful to press down through the feet and reach up through the crown of the head. I'm just going to ask for 2 more of these. Yeah, so 2 more of those. Again, just watching that shoulder placement going nice and steadily. Good, inhaling and exhaling, lovely. Good, just double checking that when you bring your arms forward, you're not bringing your shoulders with you. So just notice that lovely shoulder placement. Now staying with that for our next 6, or adding in a little bit of balance. So you can inhale, remember you could cross the arms or leave the hands on the thighs if you prefer. Right leg comes up on the exhale, can you lift the knee and then just take a pause? Take a pause there in the balance. Now, when you put the right foot down, you're going to come back into the squat. So both feet come back to hip width. You can have a little peek if you need. Inhale, sit the bottom back, maybe get a little bit deeper. And then as you exhale, can you pick up the left knee, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Yeah, lovely, having that momentary pause and then popping the foot down, 4 to go. So inhale. Okay, remember you can leave the arm action out, and then the exhale, drive the knee up, lengthen through the spine, send the fingertips to the floor, crown of the head to the ceiling. Go again, we're nearly there. Good, inhale as we sit back, yeah, lovely knee alignment, and then exhaling, bringing the knee up, maybe taking that extra couple of breaths. Good, and then we go 1 more each side, lovely. So sitting back, hinging from the hips, bottom sits back, Arms can reach ahead, or you've crossed, and then you're raising the knee up, standing firmly on your left leg as you lift your right knee. We go again one last time. Well done on your balance. Does not matter if we had a little wobble or waver. Good, inhaling. And then I exhale to pop the left knee up, lengthen up through the crown, reach the fingertips down, take a momentary pause. Beautiful. And then lower the leg down, take a little recovery there. Okay, so then just before we come onto the mat, standing spine twist. So I'm going to get you, we've been doing that lovely modified position with the upper body, haven't we? So the fingertips can just touch, doesn't matter if they're not touching, and then you create that length through the spine. Good, inhale centre, going to the right, but keeping the hips facing forward as you twist on the exhale. So both hips heading forward, you're twisting to waist and middle back. We take another breath in, I'll show you from here, and then on the outward breath, opening both arms, sending the thumbs up towards the sky, not changing anything in your back, closing on the next in, and then exhale, coming all the way back round to our start position. Good, same to the other side. So inhale to prepare. Exhale as we twist now to the left. Keep the hips shining forward if you can. Maybe even have a look at that. Ground both feet. Now that'll help you. Good. On the next inhale, open both arms so we can send the thumbs up towards the sky, open into the chest, the shoulder and the middle back. Exhaling. And then inhale, we can return. And exhale all the way back to our start. Lovely, just one of those. Now this time we're going to take the arms wide. It's our kind of typical or traditional spine twist position. Again, lengthen up through the spine. Some of us are going to stay here, others might come to prayer. You can even do our Cossack position as well if you want it. Exhale as we twist round to our right side, Look back towards your right thumb. Again, ground the feet, are both hips facing camera side without you pulling those hips back round to the camera. Good. Exhale as we come all the way back to our start. We go again. Inhale, center. Exhale as we twist, rotate round, look towards our back hand. Yeah. Good. Inhale. Lovely. And then exhale to come back to our start. Lovely. One more each side. We need this for the next exercise. I can see some of us are going, hang on a minute. What's happened to my arms? So let's go again. Ground the feet. Remember, modify where you need. Take those arms down. Even do that lovely little Cossack position with the fingertips to each elbow. Yeah, decide. Exhale, coming back round. You're doing absolutely brilliantly. Check in with those, shining the hips forward. And exhale round. Feel the waist, the middle back. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. And see if we can look back on the inhale to the back thumb. Good. Exhale to gradually bring you round to your start and then release the arms. Really well done again. Okay, so we're going to use that now. What I want is for us to come down onto the mat and we're going to come to a wall area. So I'll just show you here where we are now. You'll like this. So we're going to be near a wall. Don't worry if you disappear. We're bringing the front foot forward and we've got our back knee just slightly behind us in that, like we did last week where we were standing, but now we've got the thigh against the wall, the inside thigh against the wall. We've got the back knee just under the hip, so we're not in a hip flexor position on this one, we're just in a kneeling position. And then the arm that's closest to the wall is on the wall. Yeah? The other hand then comes to the wall. We're going to use those same principles that we've just had there. No, we're going to do 3 each side, just so you know. So if you lose me, then just make sure you do your 3. When you're ready, your camera arm, or the arm that isn't on the wall, starts to open on the inhale. We're going to leave the arm that's on the wall, and then exhale as we come back towards the back of the room there, or the wall. Oh, lovely. Yeah, beautiful. So your shoulders just nestling on the wall. Try not to force anything. Some of us will get the arm back towards the wall, and not everybody's going to. As long as you leave your shoulder and your arm on the wall, you can allow your body to twist, because look, our hips are going to stay fairly still. I say fairly. I didn't do that very well there. And then inhale. Yeah, do you like that? And then exhale to come back to your start position. Now, if we've got any issues with the shoulder, we're going to make that all less, aren't we? Twice more. So inhale, length through the spine. Where's the distance from the hips to the ribs? Just really enjoy this. A really lovely kind of detoxifying twist, yeah? Grounding down through your front foot. Good, and notice this second time around, it probably feels a little bit easier. Yeah, take a breath in, yeah? Good, and then exhale. Remember, you're not trying to snap an arm off, gang. You're going to where you feel that lovely twist and the pull through the front of the body, yeah? Good, if you've had done 2 and you'd rather have a breather now, that's what you're doing. Otherwise, we lengthen through the spine, inhaling. Yeah, and then see if this time you can follow the arm round. Have a look in your periphery and your hips still facing forward. Yeah, we could even use the back toes being tucked to really support that. And see if you can look back towards the backhand. Good, take a breath in and a breath out to come back to your start. Answers on a postcard for that one. Spin round to the other side and hopefully I won't get the answers. Good. So can you then bring yourself to the other side? Again, modify. You know you're not causing yourself any strain. So the thigh, back toes tucked on the foot flat, whichever feels better for you. Good, nestle your shoulder, bring your arm up. Good, relax, lengthen through the spine. So let's use that wide breath now on this side, the wide breath coming into the ribs and the back. Now, we don't have to even add our deep abdominals in, we can just focus on that breath going wide, can't we? And going back. Yeah, I might feel a little bit more of a struggle on this side on that first one. And notice then we're using the leg as that little bit of support, aren't we? Good, exhaling as we come back to our start position. Good, we go again. So again, create the length, inhaling wide and full. Notice then as you come back, kind of beyond that little right angle of the arm and shoulder, then you start to get that wonderful twist into the middle part of the back and the waist. Good, and then inhaling, we're nearly there. And exhaling to come back. You are absolutely brilliant. Now, if you've done the 2 and you're thinking that's enough, that's enough. Yeah, you could just come to 4-point kneeling, you could come into child pose, you could just join me on the mat, whatever you like. This is our last one. Go double checking that our hips are facing forward. Really enjoy that. So giving that middle part of the body, the organs as well, just a really lovely little scrunch. And then when we release, the blood flow then pours back into that area. And that's kind of that detox feeling. So then we'll come on to our mat. Well done on those. Oh, yeah, double leg kick, you're going to enjoy. So we'll layer ourselves up now. Let's bring ourselves to 4-point kneeling. Could we round into cat on the next inhale, not being too precise, just enjoying. And then exhaling through to our long lengthened back. I'd like you to make this more about your lower back than your upper back. We've talked about that a lot, haven't we? So rather than you ending up here, pushing into the back of the shoulder and the middle back and upper back, I want you to make it more about the lower back. So you get more of that rounding into the lower back. And then lengthening back out. Good, and I'm going to ask for 2 more. So again, if you're a little bit ahead of me, we've got a couple more to do, a little bit behind. See if you can add in a couple more. So we've done 4 of those, 4 or 5 of those. So rounding on the exhale. And maybe that inhale brings us back. Yeah, we'll do that one more time. Doing really well, guys. Now the double leg kick that's coming up, we're going to layer in, so everybody's going to have an option as we go. We will take it up to our full move, but nobody has to do that if they don't feel comfortable. Sit your hips all the way back towards your heels, reach your arms ahead and bring your forehead down towards the mat. Your knees are in parallel. Notice the tops of the feet on the mat and see if you can budge your sit bones a little bit further back. Leave your sit bones where they are and creep your hands slightly further forward. You'd be missing that out if the shoulders and neck were a little bit tight. Wide breath, so this is where we can really focus on that lateral or Pilates breath or thoracic breathing. So you can notice then, just where we're kind of squashed a little bit in that lower body, we can really focus on taking the breath into the bra line area, middle part of the back, into those ribs and into the front, into the chest as well. Really notice that, a really cleansing breath. We'll do that twice more, inhaling and exhaling. Good, one more time, inhale. So you can get wider into those ribs, into the back, into the front of the body as well. Good, and then we'll start to come forward. So we can bring ourselves straight onto our hands, our forearms, and then just head into Sphinx pose for me. Lengthen out your legs, lift your chest, take your gaze ahead. Good, and then bring your way down onto the mat. So, first option, arms by the side of the body, legs are going to come together, so connect with your inner thighs, that's it, and you can turn your head to the camera or whichever way you want to turn it if you're not facing your camera. Now reach out through both legs and notice that little bit of energy into the buttocks and the thighs. Now our first option would be to scoot the heels in towards your bottom with 3 kicks. So we go 1, 2, 3. And then your exhale would be to reach the legs out and bring your head just lifted, almost like we're in the dart. And you can leave the back of the hand on the ground, you can leave the legs on the ground as you lift your upper body. So we'll do that again. So as you turn on the inhale, the feet come in towards you, your hips, notice, stay on the mat. And then on your exhale, you're lengthening the legs, they can go on the ground, and you can reach out through the crown of the head. So it might be that that's the option you're staying on today, which is absolutely really valuable exercise. Yeah. So if we wanted now, we can change it slightly. 3 kicks in. Yeah. Toes come in towards your bottom, and then on your exhale, you're stretching your legs out. As you come up, you're letting the legs lift, and you're turning your palms to face your body. So that gives you that opening through the front of the chest and shoulder. As you come down on the inhale, the feet start to come up, and then from that kind of perpendicular, you've got your 3 kicks in. 1, 2, 3, and then on your exhale, you're coming up. Now the legs stay together, so already you might feel the backs of the thighs and the fronts of the thighs doing a little bit of work for you. We go again. So inhale, head turns. I can see feet separated, so remember legs are together, knees are together. Inner thighs are together. That's the work. Yeah, that's the work there. Palms facing, lengthen out through the crown of the head. You don't have to be too high on that at all. And then we'll do one more like that, and then we've got one final change. Make sure the hips are staying on the mat as you kick the legs in. Inhaling in, exhaling as you create that length. You're looking towards the ground with the length in the back of the neck, openness across the chest. Now, let's just lay ourselves down for a moment. Have a little breather. So then the key points then are the hips staying on the mat when the heels come in. Otherwise we tend to lift and we're not getting that full stretch. Yeah. Then the key points are the space between the ears and the shoulders. Yeah. As you're lengthening the legs, you're drawing the legs together. Now option is to take interlace your hands behind your back or have one hand on top of the other. So for example, I've got my right under my left hand. I'm just clasping my hands rather than interlacing. So when I come up on my next one, I'm going to pull my hands away down towards my thighs. Yeah. So then when we come to the opposite side, we just switch the hands if we wanted to be really particular, which we do. Yeah. So we can start with a right hand onto, or left hand, whichever way you're turning. So I'm turning to the right, so my right hand's into my lower back, left hand's on top of it. So now exactly the same. So we're going to bring the legs in, inhaling 1, 2, 3. Exhale, pull the hands way down across your bottom towards your thighs. On your exhale, you can take that gaze forward. Inhale, we slide, change hands, draw the heels in. 1, 2, 3, and then exhale, lengthen, reach and stretch. You might be on that first base. Yeah, I'm going to ask for 4 more all together. So inhaling in, 2, 3, keeping the hips low, well done. Vigorous legs, exhale as you lift and stretch. Really well done. Lengthen those legs, coming down, inhale, releasing the shoulders, letting the arms come down towards the mat, and then exhale, reach, lengthen, stretch. Beautiful. Have a little breather back into child pose or 2 more. 1, 2, 3, and then reach, get that wonderful stretch. You might still have the arms at the side of the body. Last time. Good, inhaling in, doing really well again. Keeping those hips down if we can. Exhale to come up, reach and stretch, hold it. Option to take a breather or exhale your way into wide legs. Turn out of the toes, reach the fingertips away from you, open across the chest. Inhale again, and then exhale, let everything come down and recover. You know where we're going. Take the hands under the shoulders, push yourself all the way up, separate your knees, either into a lovely wide-kneed cat or back into wide-kneed child pose. We need that release into the back, don't we? Really well done, gang. So inhale and exhale. Have a little bit of movement side to side if we can. Well done. Swimming. Yeah, we've got swimming next. I'm so kind. So now we'll bring ourselves all the way back onto our tummy. We've got the full swim, and again, we don't have to do everything. I'm going to give you the options, just layer them up as we've just done. So bring yourself to our regular swan, which is fingertips level with the eye line, isn't it? And the legs then a little bit wider than hip width. So if we're recovering from any issues through the back, this is quite a nice one to do. And if we just want to take it just that little bit easier, this is a lovely one to do. You know it. So let's go together. Inhale, our chest lifts as we lengthen out through the crown of the head. Left arm and right leg takes that lovely reach out, and it's just our regular one where the arms come in pretty much so the hands level with your shoulder and your foot's just a little bit wider than your hip. Good, and then inhaling and exhaling to come down. Now let's just have a reminder as we do that again. So you're going to do that 5 more times. I'd like you just to feel light at the front of the body. So instead of thinking you've got to come up really high, push the tummy down and kind of get extra height. See if we can be light at the front of the body, and maybe we don't come up as quite as high, but we can engage those deep tummy and back muscles. Yeah, so we don't feel like we're pushing the belly down. Just notice that. Notice that subtle sort of difference of height. Good, you've got 4 more to do, or maybe you've got 3 more to do now. Inhaling up and exhaling. We keep the space between the ears and the shoulders. Our palm can face down. We can have a soft point through the front of the foot. And it could all be less. It could be you working on just the swan and just a single leg lift. Yeah. Good. Good. And we should have 1 more each side to complete that 6. You might have already finished, so you could have a little breather. You could go into a little child pose if you wanted, or kick the heels up and have that little stretch. Good. Coming up and coming down. So lengthening up, light at the front of the body. Good, reaching out through the fingertips and toes, palm faces down, space between the ear and the shoulder. Inhale, and then exhale as we come down. So what I want you to notice then, as we move up now a level, the buttocks working, the backs of the thighs working, yes, as well as the tummy and the back, and the upper body obviously opening and stretching as well. So now we've got the options. We do another 6, the arms come out ahead of us, nose tickles the mat. And notice that we've got the space between the ear and the shoulder still. Yes, the arms are forward, but we're not taking our shoulders with us. So shoulder placement, really important. So lengthen through both legs. Hands can be a bit wider than shoulders. Legs a bit wider than hip width. Lengthen and lift to our swan. Now, in that position, you should notice that mid part of the back that we've been talking about. Yeah, so more into that middle back than your lower back. Right arm, left leg on the exhale, lengthen and lift. Inhale, come down, exhale to lower. Okay, we've got 5 to do. Inhale, create that length as you lift. You can have a little bit of purchase through the hands, and then exhale using the right arm and left leg as support as you lengthen and lift the opposite arm and leg. Coming down and then lowering back down. Now remember, you might be going back to that first base for the next 4 rather than staying with this. Yeah, so making sure your body feels comfortable and you're thinking about the rest of the day as well. If you've got lots to do, then maybe you just want to make that just a little bit less. Yeah, exhaling up, notice that mid part of the back. Inhale and exhale as we come down. We've got 1 more to do, so create the swan, and then 1 more each side, right arm, left leg. Hand and arm, or arm and leg, are the same height, yeah, as you come up. So double check that in your camera. Inhale, create the length. Good, exhale, notice the buttock and the thigh as you lift the leg. Good, reaching out, arm and leg, and then slowly coming down. When you're nearly there, kick back into a breather, or stay with me here. Lengthen out and lift, inhaling as you come up. Now can we then, light at the front of the body, exhale the arms and legs. So they're lifted, now turn the palms in, right arm and left leg come up, we switch left arm and right leg. And then we go. So we've got 4 switches. Inhale, 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 exhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Your torso and head are absolutely still rather than swimming around your mat there. Nearly there. Good. Exhale, last time. And then lower everything down. Take the hands under the shoulders. Take a well-earned push all the way up and back. Sit back into child pose. Oh, yeah. So we should have noticed that mid part of the back, but you should feel comfortable now because you've adapted as you've gone along, haven't you? So we can round up. Let's go cat again. Legs are together this time, and just round up into our cat, tuck the toes, and then exhale our way back over the heels if the feet will allow. Pick the sit bones off the heels, coming up, and then lower the tops of the feet as you sit back into your child pose. Really well done again. Good. So then we're going to come onto our side. Yeah. And we're going to stretch out that side body now with our lovely side bend. Yeah. Now, some of us, the first option would be to be on our forearm with our top leg stretched out, our bottom leg bent. So again, neck and shoulder people, this is where you're going. Elbow directly under your shoulder, waist is lifted. We'll all have a practice. We can inhale to reach up, stretch up. Look, just double checking your hips are square on, and we get that lovely reach through the top arm. The shoulder can come with you, and you can look down towards your forearm. We can inhale, bring the arm up, and exhale to lower the hip down. Option 1. Option 2, we're in the same position on the hand, makes it a little bit, not necessarily harder, but just a little bit different. Your hand is making that triangle base, so have a look at your hip and your wrist. Bottom leg is bent, top leg is straight. We do exactly the same thing. So as we come up, the shoulder comes over the wrist. Yeah, so I'm not in quite the right position there, you can see. So I'm going to bring my hand in a little bit so that when I come up I'm in that alignment. That's where we want to be. So rather than here with the arm away from us because there's too much work for the shoulder, and then coming down. Yeah, let's just practice that one more time. So as we come up on the inhale, the shoulder pretty much comes over the wrist. Inhaling up, yeah, that should feel good. That lovely stretch now into the top side of the body there. And inhale and exhale to come down. Good, lovely. I can see all options going on there. And then our last option, all of us are going to do 3 more. Our last option would be to have the bent bottom leg, and then our top foot comes in front. Do you remember? So then this is a slight change because the hand needs to go a little bit further away. We're going to push through the legs and lift up from here. So inhale, do you remember where the legs then come together and we make that lovely big arc up and over? Yeah, inhale, the arm comes up, and exhale, we bring the hips down. Lovely. 2 more, whichever version you're on. Chest is lifted. Use the feet. That top foot plants down. Press down through that top foot. And as you come up, you can stretch the legs because the shoulder comes back over the wrist. You've got it. Good, inhaling and exhaling to pop down. You've got 1 more, or you're having a breather. Yeah, go again. So take a breath. Good, and then don't just collapse on the floor though. Collapsing on the floor isn't allowed. You've got to be in some sort of Pilates position. Good, coming all the way up, and then popping yourselves down. Well done. Let's get that out of the way. Give both wrists a little shake out. Come round to your opposite side. This side might be a little bit trickier, so you're coming straight onto that forearm position, bottom leg bent, top leg straight, lifting the hips straight up to the ceiling and reaching that top arm over the head. Bicep pretty much near your level with your ear, yeah? So we could have a little practice of that if we wanted, lifting the hips, inhaling as we're coming up, good, and then exhaling as we lower the hips down. And then our second option would be to come up onto the hand. Good, opening the palms, spreading the fingers, your wrist in line with your hip. Have a look at that, your wrist in line with your hip, rather than forward or too far back. Good, and then again, inhaling, as the shoulders come over the wrist, we can take that lovely stretch. It's about that side body, isn't it? It's all about the side of the body. Good, inhaling and exhaling. Good, we can stay with that, or we'll all do 3 more with our bottom foot in front and our bottom leg behind and our top foot just sat in front of the other one. So it's kind of that old-fashioned kind of pose, isn't it, for a picture. Open your chest, Shoulders away from the ears, open the palm, the hand's gone a little bit further away. We're going up. Inhale, start to lift the hips, and then those little froggy legs come together, squeeze the inner thighs, and take that lovely stretch over. Some of us were looking to the ground anyway. Good, inhaling and exhaling, you are absolutely brilliant. Good, 2 more, but you might be having a breather now if you've had enough. Yeah, inhale, take that lift, take that lovely stretch, draw the inner thighs together, take the weight into the legs. Well done, guys. Inhale and exhale to come down. Superb. Last time, have that breather. Yeah, join me in thread of the needle if you wanted, so you could just come straight into thread of the needle. Inhaling up. Good. And we can take that exhale as we come down. Really well done. Just bring yourselves just to give the wrists a little shake out. While we're there, we'll just bring go the opposite way. So instead of that position there that we've just been in, we're going to bring the thumb towards the wrist, just for a breath. So you just gently bring your hand down. Kind of like, in you could start doing some wall shadow things, if you like. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So instead of being there that we've just been, we flip the hand and we just draw the hand down very light. Oh, notice one side's totally different to the other, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, some of us are going straight into vogue. Yes, very nice. Okay, now let's just come back onto our hands, and we've got 1 thread of the needle each side, but we're being quite pernickety. That is it on the hands. Okay, so knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. Yeah, and we're taking 1 hand, doesn't matter which, 1 hand under the chest. Start to bend your opposite elbow. Yeah. Now, if you prefer, you could do a seated spine twist if you wanted, or just like a kneeling spine twist if you had enough totally of being on those wrists. So absolutely fine to do that. So with that soft elbow now, I don't want you to change this bent elbow position at all. Yeah, to start with. So we start to feed the hand through. This arm doesn't change. We've done a little bend of the elbow. Keep feeding the arm through, inhaling and exhaling. Keep going, inhaling and exhaling. Remember, you haven't changed that angle yet. Now you go as far as you can with that twist, so you can really start to feel the pull through the back. Then you allow the elbow to bend and allow the shoulder to come down. So feel the difference. So rather than just chucking yourself through, yeah, inhale. And then as we exhale, we push down through our supporting arm. And again, we can come slowly back. So we can keep that arm angle the same, the elbow angle the same, and then come back to our start position. Have a little recovery, a little zhuzh around. So let's go slowly again. I'm just going to move a little bit here so you can see. So then we bend the elbow. I'll go this way again so you can see. Bend the elbow, opposite hand comes under now. Good. Keep that elbow the same. Start to exhale. Inhale and exhale. Can you start to twist? But I can see some of us have just collapsed into it. Remember, we're not collapsing. We're threading as far as we can, and then allow the elbow to bend, the shoulder and the side of the head coming down to the mat. Take a breath in, wide into the ribs and the back. Yeah, and then exhale, ease your way all the way back to your start. Well done. Now, we're coming into the swan, and we're going to try the swan dive. Anybody that's recovering from any back issue at all in the last, 6 months, you don't want to do the full one. You don't want to do the full one. But here we go. We'll have a little go. So, yeah, then we get to go on our backs. So when you're ready, here we go. We layer up again. You know if this is suitable for you or not. So first one's suitable for everybody. Fingertips level with the eye line. Well, pretty much, as long as you can go on your tummy. Inhale as we lift the chest and we come up to swan, lengthening both legs. So we come off the mat, just that little bit. Then exhale as we ease our way down. We go again. Can we inhale, create that length as you lift? Lengthen out, yes, through the legs, through both sides of the waist, create that space between the ear and the shoulder. Almost pull yourself a little bit along the mat. Give the spine a really good chance to lengthen out. So I'm expecting probably half of us are going to stay with this. And then if we wanted, the legs are still in parallel, we're inhaling to come up to our swan, and we can exhale our way up into cobra. Yeah? So we can ease our way up into cobra. Good. Again, I'm going to have lost half of you. Good. And then we're coming down, or a third of us, and we're coming down. We're not going to be here long. All the way back to our start. Good. We're going to do that one more time. So inhale, we find our swan. Energy out through the crown of the head, legs stretch out. Notice we're quite light at the front of the body. And then as soon as we do our next exhale, the thighs and the tummy just skim to the mat. And then we come up to that full cobra position. Now, extend the legs. And again, it might be now that we're coming down and you're going to stay with that and you're enjoying that. And maybe 4 or 5 of us might try the full swan. You don't need white feathers, by the way. So then we bring our legs together, just a little bit, they don't have to glue together. We come up into our cobra position. Yeah, we're going to do 2. We're going to do 2, so I'm asking just for 2. Good. And we take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, exhale. Yeah, so we're going to reach ourselves forward and then pick ourselves back up. Inhale, exhale. That's it. That's all we're doing. Good. Feels quite nice, doesn't it? That's all we're doing. Good. And then slowly come down. Really well done, whichever version we did. Now roll yourself all the way onto your back. And when you get there, give yourself a really well-earned knee hug. Yeah, so whatever version you did there, absolutely brilliant. You know, actually it's better to be listening to our bodies than thinking that we have to do, any harder. That is probably the harder option, isn't it? Well done. Now hold on to your right shin as you pop your left foot down. Exhale your left leg out across your mat. Now at this point your back hasn't left the mat. Now so you're not arching away, you're sitting that lower back down, middle back, upper back. Good, bringing the leg in on the left, putting the right foot down, keeping the back in the same position as you stretch out. So this will be quite easy for some of us, but I still want you to feel you're lengthening your leg. Yeah, so you're reaching out. So not that easy for me, but I know some of us are quite flexible in the hips. So that's quite easy, but I still want you to feel the stretch. I want you to open up into that front of thigh area. So use the lower back being on the mat, the back of the shoulders, that middle back, lower part of the ribs, maybe, all connected. We'll do that just one more time each side. And again, we're just going to layer in. You do what is appropriate for you and your body again. That's what we're here for. Good. And we can layer in and we can practice the slightly more challenging ones, or we don't have to. Good. So when you're ready, we're going to pop both feet to the floor. And the starter position for scissors, we're going to bring the space between the lower back and the mat, aren't we? So we just find that subtle gap of air. Arms at the side to start with, the left knee comes over the hip. We talked about being quite light, didn't we, in the thigh on Monday. So see if you can float the leg up. So rather than kind of pulling it in and pushing your leg down, can we lift and lengthen out of those thighs? So the back stays absolutely still. And then left to right, exhaling toe tap. Lovely exercise to really get some strength in the centre of the body. Yeah, to working on the pelvis staying still, the back staying still, our upper body being relaxed, exhaling away, inhaling back. So beautiful exercise to return to if we wanted to stay with. Pause there. When you've done your right side for me, option now is to imprint your back and extend your legs up to the sky. So yes, the hamstrings, we haven't done too much specific stretches, but they should be stretched out. Left leg now reaches away towards, maybe not all the way to the floor, maybe just off the mat. Now again, the back stays on the mat and you're stretching up your left leg, stretching up your right leg, stretching out your left with your pelvis still. And then you're inhaling to bring your leg back. So just notice that slowly. Don't worry if you've speeded that up. Go reaching out, again notice where the back is, the neck and shoulders, you're lengthening up your left leg, stretching out your right, it doesn't have to be to the ground. Inhaling as you come back. I'm going to ask for 6 more of those. So reaching away on that exhale with the knee bent, with the leg straighter, or maybe just kind of a little in between version of that suits your back and hips. Yeah. So lovely, reach away. and then returning. Yeah, we should have 3 more to do if we're going nice and slowly. We can have a soft point. We can relax the foot if that feels better. Good, and then we'll try that left to right one more time. You might have already finished and you might be having a little knee hug instead. Yeah, so you've finished there, and then when you're ready, pause and bring the knees in. So then we've got the option of taking it up into our full scissors. So just now for the next probably a minute, you could decide, am I going to have a breather? I'm going to do my hip rolls. I'm going to do just a quick little hamstring stretch or an ankle circle or so, anything like that. Or your scissors, or where you just were a moment ago. If you wanted now, we bring the knees into chest. We stretch both legs up and we interlace the fingers behind the left thigh. Then widen your elbows for me just a little bit. You're welcome to leave your head on the mat. If you want to join me here, we're going to turn out from the toes, turn out from the hip, so our toes turn out, right to the right, left to the left. We nod the chin towards the chest and we lift towards the waistband. Yeah? So now you've got a little peach between the chin and the chest, or walnut we've been saying, haven't we? We're exhaling the right leg away, pulling the left leg in. We switch. Interlace the fingers behind the right leg as you stretch the left leg away. Inhale and exhale. We're going 8. We've got 7. Inhale and exhale. Elbows wide, space between the ears and the shoulders. And see if you can be up on the waistband rather than back on your shoulders. Yeah, 4 to go. 4. Inhale and exhale. Well done, people taking options there. 3, good, 1 more each side, drawing in the left, drawing in the right, and then bring the knees in. Absolutely brilliant, guys. Pop the feet to the ground, open the arms wide, maybe to a lovely T, and then inhale and exhale as we take the legs from one side to the other. Just enjoy. Yeah, good, relaxing the upper body a little bit. I'm just looking at my notes. Oh yes, good, we're fine. Yeah, we're doing well. Beautiful. Now, when you come back after you've evened that up, could we bring the right leg in? Let's just go for that hamstring stretch. Draw the leg in. You just feel the pull down the back of the thigh and stretch out our right leg. We're not going to stay too long on this one. Just get that lovely stretch. Good. And then let's cross the legs and bring both legs in for that buttock stretch. You can be in your traditional one with your knee wide, or you could just hug both legs in. You might find quite a nice little bit of release into the buttock there. Relax the shoulders. Take a couple of those deeper breaths, wide into the ribs and the back. Well done. Then can we separate the legs, put the right foot down, kick the left leg up, draw the left leg in. Yeah, you might hold behind your calf or your thigh. Good, lengthening the leg up and maybe stretching out our right leg, maybe not. Well done. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for our 100? Options as we go, you know that. And then we can bend the knee on the right, cross the legs and bring the legs in. And again, well, let's have maybe 5 breaths. Now, if you're in your traditional pigeon and that's better for you, then that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, you could just try a slight change with the legs crossed and drawing the legs in. Totally up to you, whichever feels better. And we know the 100 is actually the first Pilates exercise in the 34 Pilates move sequence. And so technically it was used as a warm-up. So, you know, we've got to bear that in mind. It could be our warm-up, couldn't it? But actually, it's quite nice when it's done, when we actually know what we're focusing on. And we've got the body warmed up. Okay, so here we go for our options. We're all going to be happy here with the knees bent and the back resting on the mat. I know we're all okay there. So we've got the strength in the tummy now. So we might even lift from the pelvic floor. We might draw those tummy muscles in. And we've got the arms at the side of the body. Remember the breath practice that we started with. So the 100 starts with the arm action, lengthening through the arms so those triceps are kicking in a little bit. A lengthening of the arms without pulling your shoulders down and away from the ears, just letting the shoulders settle. Yeah, so try not to strain anything there. Length all the way through fingertips. And the breath starts with 5 pumps of the hand down towards the mat. So that's inhaling in, and that breath is coming wide into the ribs and the back, isn't it, in the front of the body. Now we can today go exhale with the palms facing up, quite nice, just gives us that opening through the front of the body. So inhale, 5, and then exhaling 5. So just find your own rhythm now for me. I'm not going to say anything, just find your own rhythm. So you can keep a little eye on those deep tummy muscles, maybe our pelvic floor, as you do both inhale and exhale. Good? Lovely. That's it. Perfect. And then when you've finished your exhale, your next exhale, so 5 count inhale, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, just so we know that, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the knees in, just have a little recovery. Okay, so now we can stay here, or we could have the legs in the air. We draw the inner thighs together, we can draw the heels together and turn out the toes, so you're in that little soft V. Yeah? You could try that. You could have the knees bent. Backs imprinted, arms are at the side of the body, and then we've got the option, if we wanted, to nod the chin to chest, and in the 100, the tips of your shoulder blades are on the mat. Yeah? So, like we were with our scissors, we're right up on the waistband. This time we're a little bit lower. You look between the thighs, or you look down towards your tummy. Here we go. So breath in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breath out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale wide. Exhale, empty those lungs. Check in with the pelvic floor, lifting up from underneath. Just checking as you breathe in that your tummy isn't rising and falling, that breath's going wide. Inhale. Soften the shoulders. If you need to, you can have one hand in the back of the head for a round. Good, and then switch. Yeah, you could lower your head down. You could have both hands in the back of the head if you want to leave the arms out. Good, 2 more rounds. Bring the knees in. Lower your upper body. Lower your feet. And then bring the legs from side to side. Okay. Now, we're going to try layering in the lowering of the legs. And we'll do 5 rounds. We'll do 5 rounds. Now, if you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, I don't want to do another 100. It's just, too much on my neck and shoulders. I'd love you to do a beautiful starfish. So you could just use that now instead of the next sort of minute or so for our 5 rounds with the 100 in the full position. If you're joining me now, you could be starting your starfish and really enjoying that. Or you could imprint your lower back to the mat, scoot the knees in one at a time, bring the legs together, scoot the legs up, bring the heels together. Go bring the arms to the side of the body, turn out the toes. Nod your chin towards your chest, curl your shoulders up till the tips, the bony bits of the shoulders are on your mat. Scoot the arms to the side of the body. Inhale as we lower. Flex the feet and exhale as you bring the legs back, palms up. Inhale as you lower the legs, your back does not move. You decide how low those legs can go, keeping your back in the same position. 3 more rounds. Inhale. Flex the feet, turning the palms up, reaching through the fingertips. Good. Inhale as we lower. Adapt where you need to go. Energy up through the legs, and then one more time. Inhale as we lower. Wrap those heels together. Tighten the buttocks just a little bit. Hang on a minute, I've forgotten our arm action. And then bring the knees in, recover there. We could all come into a knee hug and then separate the knees wide and together. Well done. So finish the starfish, you're in your starfish. Join me now with those hip rolls. And let's go the other way. Good. Inhaling and exhaling just as feels good. Really well done, gang. Good. Here's our last time. Opening the knees wide, bringing the legs together, and this time popping the feet down, bringing the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to drift wide. Notice your back ideally isn't arching too much away from the mat. Good. And then reach the arms up. Optional. Exhale the arms over your head and then bend your elbows enough to open up into the front of your body. So you've got that lovely diamond position with the hand elbow and shoulders, and then with the pelvis, the knees and the feet. Inhaling and exhaling just as feels good. Close your eyes. Maybe the feet touch, maybe they don't, maybe they're just a little bit wider and that feels good too. Let's have 3 more solid breaths here, opening up into the front of the body, opening up a little bit into the inner thigh and the front of the thighs and the hips, the groin area. Last time. Soften the elbows, bring the hands to the outside edge of your thighs, scoop both feet to the ground, and then one more time hug the knees in towards the chest. Nod your chin to chest and rock up to sitting. And then just to finish, we've got the open leg rocker. And that's just going to leave you smiling, I think. Now, if we don't want to do the open leg rocker, we could do just a really lovely modified spine stretch, however you want the leg position to be. So some of us are going to have the knee bent, some of us will have a straighter leg. Otherwise, let's try an open leg rocker. I did forget the teaser prep, so we've got to do that next week. So we're on those sit bones, aren't we? And then we go back to the back of the sit bones. We lift the knees, and we might just stay with the hands on the calves or the shins, or even behind the thighs is great too. Some of us like to come down towards the ankles, and we can stretch both legs out. Chest is lifted, and technically we're pulling on a pair of socks. So, some little ankle socks, and we're pulling on those little socks. Should we go back? Let's go 4. Let's go 4. So we relax as we go back on the inhale, and then exhale brings us up to stretch those legs all the way up. Now, inhaling as we go back, exhaling coming up. Ooh, lift the chest, lengthen through the crown of the head. 2 more. Inhaling in, use the exhale to bring you up to that balance. Lift your chest. Well done. One more time. Inhale, relax. Exhale, use the breath. Oops, overshot. Lift your chest, hold. 4, hold 3. Lift and lengthen through the spine, hold 2, hold 1, bend the knees, give yourself a well-earned hug. Meet me rounding 4-point kneeling. Hands and shoulders, knees under hips. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Walk the hands back towards the heels, fold. Inhale and exhale. Inhale as we start to round. Some of us will have a really good knee bend. Exhale as we come slowly up to standing. Take your time. Last stretch, we are there. Inhale, lengthen through the side of the body. Exhale, take that really good stretch over to our left side. Good, inhale and exhale. Absolutely brilliantly done, gang, today. Really well done. Soften the shoulders. Good, and reaching up, stretching over. Good, come all the way back. Let's finish with a gentle neck stretch. Ear to shoulder, however you want to do that, breath-wise. Good, take your chin to your shoulder. Roll your chin all the way across the T-shirt. To the other side to look over that shoulder. And then bring your head to the centre. Last time. Ear to shoulder on the opposite side. Chin to shoulder. Roll the chin all the way across the top of the T-shirt. To the opposite side. And then bring yourself back to your central position. Really well done. Really well done. Start Wednesday as you mean to go along.